Did you wish you got another series after the way things ended?
That's definitely aggravating the way things ended there. I mean, just the way we turned the ball over and the way I obviously did it at the end there. I was trying to hold on as long as I could, and I feel like Michael was kind of breaking up the field as I was heading towards the out of bounds line there, and I was trying to get it up over his head, and I just kind of yanked it right to the guy's chest. So definitely annoying that happened.
How would you? This is obviously the first time you played in the preseason. I mean, how would you kind of assess the outing from the offense today?
Well, it's just a shot. Like I think the biggest thing is obviously the turnovers stick out, but I think that when we look back at the film, we're going to say, all right, when we run the ball, we're going to probably want to find some more positive runs and stuff like that. I think that was the main thing besides the turnovers is when you look at the first drive, I think we had 11 plays. It's like, all right, why are we still on the 30, 40-yard line? So I think that would probably be the biggest thing is just trying to get as much out of our run game as we can. And when that happens, you can see where this offense goes. You know, when you start popping, you know, when you're starting with 4, 5, 6-yard runs, and then all of a sudden they turn into 12-yard runs and everything else. Your play action turns up. Guys start popping open downfield. You get more chunk plays, and it just becomes a lot easier on yourself.
Do you feel you're ready for the regular season, personally?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, this is one of those things like, you know, there's plenty of guys around the league that, you know, they don't even play in the preseason anymore. I think it's very beneficial to go through getting ready for a game and going out there and getting live reps all the time. But yes.
Do you anticipate being the starter in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't really know, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're talking about the guys that were on the field today, I really don't. You know, I don't want to start any stories there, so I really don't know the status of Zach at this point. But
yeah.
What were your thoughts about the offensive line as a whole today?
Yeah, listen. Like I said, I think it was a good kind of game to go out there and feel what it's like to be in a live NFL game, no matter what the situation is, and be able to now have some film to watch and critique ourselves and see what we can do better to actually live up to what we want to be.
Is it a concern at all, Joe, that this group has not had a lot of reps together with Dwayne coming in late, George moving over, you taking over, you know, midway through camp with the ones?
I don't think it's a concern. We're all NFL players. You know, things like this happen all the time. It's not like it's, you know, so outside of the box that you can look at it and say, man, these guys are dealing with something that nobody ever has dealt with before. It's not like that. All these guys that we have on the line and around, and myself, we've all played in a lot of NFL games. So that really has, you know, no weight in my opinion.
The preseason's obviously for getting the kinks out, just like training camp is. There was that play where Lakin jumped off sides, which is you don't expect from him being the savvy veteran. And then you guys talked after the play. Is that one of those learning experiences from the preseason?
Well, it's just one of those things, I guess, if you can call it that. But you definitely don't want it to happen. It's you're trying to make sure you're in the right play, and it's one of those things that I put on me to make sure that I'm more clear with my cadence, and I'm not trying to trick people out there. So it's just one of those things that you know, if you're the quarterback, you got to make sure you're being as clear as you can be with everything, so that it doesn't happen to anybody.
So you obviously have a couple weeks, but how do you feel about this team? What you've seen so far, you know, going into the season?
I feel like there's a lot of energy around the team, and that's always a good thing. Obviously, you know, if we're talking about today, you want to go out there and you want to be able to put some points on the board and feel good about it. But overall, this team has a bunch of energy around it. I think we had 3 awesome preseason games up and down our roster. So when you have that, I think we're feeling pretty confident and good about where we're heading week 1.
How does it feel playing the Ravens in the first game of the season?
You know, it's interesting. Every now and then, obviously, people go other places, and eventually you're probably going to come across the team that you initially played with. It's tough to tell. We're still 2 weeks out. Tough to tell what's going to happen, if I am the guy. And I think I've talked about it before. I've seen people go through it before, and from what I've experienced, it's usually pretty emotional for that player. So,
Joe, you've been around Denzel a while, since his rookie year and last year. His frustration became public the other day. Was it nice to see him go out and have a game like he did today and have some success?
Of course. Denzel's an awesome kid, and he is getting better and better and better. And I think today you could see just, his length and his big body and his speed on display a little bit. When you've been with a guy and he's been your teammate for as long as he has, it's always good to see him go out there and do well.
What do you need to do with the offensive line preparing for the opener? Obviously, this was Dwayne Brown's first game. You guys are trying to bring it together. What needs to happen between you and the line in general to get ready for that opener?
I don't think there's I don't want to say there's something specific you can point to and say, oh man, we need to do this right now, or we can't even play a game. I mean, like I said, we're all NFL players. We've all played plenty of games. It's just a matter of making sure that we're confident heading into week one, and everybody's heads are on right, and that we go out there and show up when the lights are turned on. I mean, it's nothing complicated. It's nothing hard. It's just about going out there and playing and feeling good about it.
What has stood out to you about Strebler?
Well, it's been an awesome preseason. I mean, to be around a guy that's come in for 3 weeks now and has done what he's done, it's impressive. Anytime you have a guy like that hasn't gotten a lot of reps until the last couple of weeks, to be able to just go out there and make it about football, it's not too big for him. He's just playing the game, running the play that's called, and doing what he does. It's been impressive to watch.
Any more questions? Thank you, everyone.
All right, thanks.
We have Mike and Chris. Mike's coming up right now.
Mike, what was the big difference for you this game compared to the last game?
I think we were just able to get into a rhythm. I think it started in the huddle.